Okay, so let's talk about solving rational equations. There are 5 steps to solving a rational equation, which you can see here. I've left you room in your guided notes to fill these out. First is to find the least common denominator of all the fractions via the pool method, which is what we just learned. Second is to identify the excluded values, which are, of course, the values that make the denominator equal to 0. Any denominator is equal to 0. Third is to multiply the equation by the LCD and to cancel appropriately. Fourth is to solve the resulting equation. And fifth is to check for extraneous solutions by checking your solutions against the excluded values. I encourage you to pause the video here and to copy those steps down. Okay, let's do an example together. So you see the example in your guided notes. Here it is. So the first step is to get the LCD of the problem. So that involves the pool method, which involves factoring all the denominators first. So x plus 3 can't be factored any more than it already is. So I'm just going to go ahead and write x plus 3 in parentheses. 6 can be broken down into 2 times 3. And then 18 can be broken down into 2 times 3 times 3. So now I'm going to pull my pool. I'm going to toss the first denominator in there, which is x plus 3. I'm going to toss anything I'm missing from the second denominator in there, and I'm missing both the 2 and the 3. Now notice there's a 3 that is different than x plus 3. The 3 that's in the x plus 3 does not count as a factor because it's not multiplied, it's being added. So then I look at my third denominator. I need 2 3's and a 2. I've already got a 3, already got a 2, so I just need another 3. So there's my LCD. Now, when we were adding and subtracting rational expressions, we actually adjusted the numerators and then combined them because that gave a common denominator. In this case, we're going to do something a little bit different. So we've got an equation here, and whenever you have an equation, you can actually multiply both sides of the equation by the same thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by the LCD, and I'm going to write this with some space so you can see what this looks like. So let's see, it's 2, 3, 3, x plus 3, and then plus 5 6, which was 2 times 3, 2, 3, 3, x plus 3 equals 23 over 18, 2, 3, 3, x plus 3. Now, we're multiplying both sides by this LCD because we want to cancel out factors in the denominators of the original thing that are in the LCD. It's sort of like the adjustments we did for the numerators when we were adding and subtracting. You had to multiply by what was missing. Here, we're sort of doing that in a different way. So, do not multiply these things out at this step. Do not do it. Do not do it. Cancel before you do anything else. All right, so looking at the first one, I have an x plus 3 here and an x plus 3 here. Look at the second one. I have a 6 here, and I have a 2 and a 3 here. And then look at the third one. I have an 18 here, and a 2, a 3, and a 3 here. So I've got all the denominators have gone away, and what I'm left with are some things to multiply together. So here I have 4 times 2 times 3 times 3, which is 72. Here I have 5 times 3 times x plus 3, which is 15x plus 45. And here I have 23 times x plus 3, which is 23x plus 69. Then I'm going to solve this. Oh, I left out a step, didn't I? Let's go back and do a step. I forgot to find my excluded values. So my excluded values here would be x cannot equal 3. Now, let's solve this equation. Move all the x stuff to the same side. I'm going to subtract 15x from both sides. That gives me 8x. And I'm going to subtract 69 from both sides, and then combine that with the 72 and the 45, and that's going to give me 48. And I'm going to divide both sides by 8, and that gives me 6. Now, before I box this answer, I need to compare this against my excluded value. Since 6 isn't excluded, if I were to plug that 6 back in, it should absolutely work. You can check that on your calculator if you'd like. But this is my answer. All right, so I'm going to move to this example. I'd like you to work this one on your own, and then pause the video to see the steps along the way to check your work. First, I'm going to find the LCD. There's the factorization. First denominator goes in. Anything missing from the second denominator goes in. Anything missing from the third denominator goes in. Now I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by the LCD. Although, of course, I forgot to find my excluded value again. There it is. Now I'm going to cancel appropriately. I'm going to multiply the resulting stuff together. I'm going to combine like terms, and then solve for x. Finally, check your answer against the excluded value. It's not 4, so that's my answer.